welcome back to my channel. It's Fee. Oh my goodness guys, it is such a hot day today. In fact, it has been almost 90 degrees here in Dordrecht for the past 2 days, which is absolutely crazy. We've never experienced it this warm here before, and I think I've mentioned to you guys before that we do not have AC in the house. So obviously extremely hot weather, being pregnant and no AC is a no bueno. It's not fun at all. But anyways, on to what I'm going to be talking about today. So moving to the Netherlands has been one of the greatest adventures of our life, but it did not come without its challenges. So in today's video, I want to talk about the things that were challenging for us when we first moved here to the Netherlands that are easy now and we can look back and laugh at them. But in the moment, there were many hard times, and I know this is true for any foreigner that has moved to a new country. So this is not specifically saying that moving to Netherlands is hard necessarily. It's just that moving abroad and moving to a foreign country where you don't already speak the language especially is difficult. I mean, even if you do speak the language, all the processes and bureaucratic things and how you do things are different. So you get both of them pounded on top of each other, and you're moving far away from family and friends. You don't have your support network to ask questions to, but luckily I've had you guys here on YouTube who have seriously helped, and I honestly cannot thank you enough for all of your help, and I really appreciate how you guys have helped us through this past year. So the first thing was getting Cam settled into school. That was really difficult, and just things like the school day was different. He gets out at different times than he did in the US. On Wednesdays he has a much shorter day. There's just a whole bunch of differences, and now it's a lot easier because I know what the rules are, but that was a big learning curve. So I'm not sure I mentioned this to you guys, but Cameron has been in immersion school since September of last year, end of August, beginning of September, and he's now fluent in Dutch. So the school has advised us that when he comes back from his summer break, he's welcome to go to a neighborhood Dutch school because he can now speak the language fluently. So that's really exciting, and I feel a lot more confident now going into these different schools and figuring out where we want to take him. I know what the rules are, so it's not as nerve-wracking as it was when he first started at the school that he's currently in, because we didn't know how a lot of things worked. The second thing is product labels in stores. Guys, it was overwhelming for me to go to grocery stores in the beginning. Believe it or not, there are a lot of different foods in the supermarkets here in the Netherlands compared to the United States. Even though we have a lot of crossover of the type of foods we eat, there was a lot of new things that I did not know. I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know what it was for. So I'd be grabbing stuff from the shelf and thinking, what the heck is this? And truth be told, with some of the items, I would just look at the picture on the product and think that maybe I could figure it out. But there's also a lot of things that I just bought and then we would try it out once we got home. And you will not believe how many foods they have here in the Netherlands that I had never heard of before until we moved here. The third thing is we had to learn how to pay our bills, and we were opening them up in an entirely new language that we could barely speak. Plus, I know you guys are going to be amazed about this one because the Dutch banking system is so advanced. We were used to paying a lot of our bills with checks, but they don't use checks here in the Netherlands. So it definitely took some getting used to. Heck, America doesn't even use IBAN numbers. So having to pay something or someone using IBAN was something that I had never done before and had to get used to because we don't use that system in America. And number 4, which I kind of already mentioned, I had to learn new ingredients to buy at the grocery stores for recipes that I was already making that Cameron and Randy love to eat, and for the things that we're used to eating. I didn't want to change all the food that we were used to eating at once because that would be honestly too overwhelming for Cam. So I had to learn new ingredients and new measuring tools. I had to switch from measuring in cups and ounces to grams, and I still struggle with that because I'm not used to it. So I've had to convert so many things, and I'm always using my phone as I'm cooking, as I'm trying to convert the measurements. And number 5, which this is going to sound silly and small, is that we could not figure out where the post office is. In fact, I'm still not sure we know where the post office is to this day. So I'm not sure how to mail all the postcards we keep buying. We'll probably just take them with us when we go visit family, or we'll give it to family when they come to visit us. And number 6 is getting rid of all of our trash and recycling, which I actually made a video about this. I'm going to link it on the screen and also on the description box if you haven't seen it. You know, here in the Netherlands, we learned that we had to sort our trash into different categories, and that's something that we weren't used to doing before. But now it's become like clockwork. You know, Cameron loves to come with me when I'm getting rid of glass, and he enjoys throwing it into the bins and sorting it into different colors, and it's become no big deal now. You know, for the first few months when we moved into the house, it was a lot of stress because obviously we had bought a whole bunch of furniture. Cardboard was continuing to pile up, and it's only picked up once a month. We still didn't have a car to take it over to a place where you can drop it off. So it was a lot of stress trying to figure out what to do with all the excess cardboard that was taking over the house and all the recycling. It was a lot to learn. And number 7 is a big one for anyone who moves to a new country or even changes jobs, and that is figuring out health insurance. So health insurance is simpler and easier and cheaper than it is in the United States, but we still had to figure it out. And then once you get the health insurance, figuring out how to use it once you go to the doctor, which in all fairness, it's really easy here. There's no co-pays or any of that kind of stuff. And now I think we got it down. It makes sense. It's not complicated anymore. And it's great because we're able to get all of Cam's vaccinations transferred over to the Dutch vaccination certificate for kids. So that was really, really amazing. And number 8 is finding new stores and figuring out which stores I wanted to buy from. So in the US, I would often go to Target. I shopped a lot at Amazon. I knew where the stuff was in my grocery store and what we like. I knew which stores to go to buy Cam's clothes. So once we moved here, I had to figure out which stores are nearby. Well, they're all nearby compared to the States, but just which stores are nearby that I like to go to. And do I want to do it online? And if I do want to buy it online, I need to find a store online that I like. But at least they still have Amazon here in the Netherlands because that's been a lifeline for us. And I've also found new online stores here in the Netherlands that I really like. And that leads me to number 9, which this may sound silly, but on top of everything else, it just added to the headache of figuring out which body products I wanted. Like I had my go-to shampoo for my type of hair. I mean, the boys will use anything, but me, I want my body washes. I want all my hair products, and I didn't want to keep buying them from companies in the US and shipping them over here, or something crazy like always asking my family members to send them to us. I wanted to find products that I like here in the Netherlands and support Dutch companies. So honestly speaking, I've had to try quite a few products over the past year, and now I've found favorite products for myself and even for Cam. And you know, shampoos and conditioners and toothpaste and all those little things that you use every day, you have to find replacements that you like. It may seem like a small thing because it's something you use every day, but then it ends up being a big thing because it's something that you do use every day. So that was hard at first, but thankfully I've been able to find all the products that I needed and wanted. And finally, number 10 is handling the taxes here in the Netherlands. And because it's so complicated, much more complicated than it is in the States, we did get an accountant who has been amazing in helping us get everything together because it would definitely be tricky doing it on our own. So to wrap up this video, I would say we've made a ton of progress this year. You know, when we first got here, we were frazzled. Every day we were spending trying to figure out something new that was pressing, and now it's much more relaxed. We do all these things without any trouble. We know how things work, and it's been really great being able to look back and see how much progress we've made. It's exciting because we know we've gotten through the hard part, and now we have a lot more to look forward to because the hard parts, those first couple months, we've gotten through. And I remember the first couple months when we moved here, there was times when I would say to Randy that we've made our lives so much harder by moving here to the Netherlands, but I can now confidently say that it has been 1000% worth it. All right guys, so yours truly, Cam, has joined me, and I wanted to bring Cam into the conversation and ask him what was the most challenging thing for you when we first moved to the Netherlands that's a lot easier for you now, if you want to let them know.
Like in the beginning, it was really hard when I couldn't speak Dutch.
Okay.
Because now they have to rely on me because I speak good Dutch. I also have to rely on Mom a little bit because she knows words that I don't know.
Yeah.
And I know a lot more words than she does.
So were you nervous that you weren't going to be able to make friends, or were you nervous about school? What was like scary about it?
Like me not knowing Dutch?
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of like everything, a little bit of everything, because like this country is basically Netherlands.
Yeah.
Dutch is Dutch here.
Right.
Dutch is Dutch. So I can't really do anything about it.
Okay, so that's perfect. So for you, that was the one thing you would say that was hard in the beginning, but it's easier now.
Yes.
Okay, is there anything else you can think of, or is that the big one?
That's it.
Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, I hope you would consider subscribing to the channel. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Again, thank you so much for all the love and support. And until next time, Dewey.